We did not go there to convert. We went there to be a presence to people who were in agony from a war that they had no voice in. And I feel that the human family, we're human to the extent that we are compassionate. I learned that from the Sudanese women, who were their door was open to anyone in need.
Sister Teresa Baldini is a retired Maryknoll who spent 20 years in Sudan, a country that was victim to Africa's longest civil war. Even though the country is split into two with the new nation of South Sudan established only 3 years ago, the war still wages on. It has largely been a religious one. Sudan is ranked one of the hardest places to be a Christian in the world. In the land that remains known as Sudan, an oppressive and hardline Islamic government violates religious freedom.
And we had the bombing planes coming over us 3 times a week. They didn't always bomb, but you always had to run. And there were times we didn't think we would make it. Once when this bombing plane was in Antonov, and we were lying flat on the ground, and we had many children around us. And one crawled in between Madeline and myself. I heard this pounding of a heart, and I thought Madeline was having a heart attack. And it was this little youngster, 8 or 9 years old, so frightened, and someone was holding her because we were lying flat on the ground. I put my arm around Madeline, but this little youngster, in psychology we learn when someone's having trauma, how important it is just to reverently touch another person. And this youngster, what I knew in my head, it went to my heart from this youngster and the one that was crying. I said, God gave us 2 hands so that we can hold the hands of one another. And I took the little girls, and Madeline took them. All the screaming that the youngsters stopped.
Sister Teresa believes the war is not only a religious one, but a war on the slavery of women. Sudan is governed by Sharia law.
Sharia law, which is the greatest injustice to humanity. And it's very, very difficult because you're dealing with people who have been programmed. And the woman place is not to speak. The woman is to serve, to bear children, and to obey men. And that is not what God created. Girls function as when a girl has her period, she's married off. Unfortunately, she's married off to someone who's old enough to be her grandfather, someone who has the cows and the goats to buy her. But is it not slavery when we sell our daughters to someone who's old enough to be a grandfather, and she has no choice?
As Currents has been reporting, only days ago Miriam Ibrahim was sentenced to hang because she is a Christian. Yesterday she gave birth to a baby girl in prison.
She's a martyr. The fundamentalist Muslim government that is institutionalizing the Sharia law that puts this innocent woman in prison, pregnant woman, and is about to kill her. God forgive them, they don't know what they're doing.
Even though women are persecuted in Sudan, Sister believes that the hideous injustices have given them strength to carry on.
My humanity has been so enriched in being with people who, under great suffering, had so much hope. The women think beyond themselves, and I think it's through self-sacrifice. It almost compels them to keep going in positive ways. And even though I may not see the fruits will come. I felt that I learned a lot from the Sudanese people, and it makes me grateful for each new day.
For Currents, I'm Michelle Powers.